Now that we've got our dynamic text field here, we're going to be creating a new button. So let's actually take the button that we already have and just duplicate it. So if we've already got a button here with the basic timeline that we need, it's so easy to create a new one just by right-clicking on that, choosing duplicate. And this is going to be my, this is going to be my sample movie clip MC animation button. It's kind of a long name there. But I'm now going to drag that out onto my timeline and double click on it to go inside of it. And I'm going to remove some stuff here. I'm going to remove all of the frames for the background. So let's clear all those keyframes. And the reason that I want to clear them is because I'm going to be replacing this with a new background instead. So we can lock or turn off our dynamic text for right now, just so we don't worry about that. But I'm going to go ahead and change this style so we initially can see that it is indeed a different button. It's not a bad idea to make it very different. And I'm going to go ahead and convert this to a movie clip symbol. So now that I've got that shape selected, let's right click, choose convert to symbol, and this is going to be my MC animation BG. Now I've got a movie clip in here. Now this movie clip is just going to be used as my background animation. So I need to redo the animation. So I'm going to duplicate the first keyframe to the beginning of the overstate and then duplicate it again to the end of the overstate. Now I want to change the animation here so I can do things like add a property of a drop shadow or inner shadow or something like that. Maybe I can do a little, drop shadow that's on the inside, medium quality, distance is set to 0. And maybe I'll blur it just a little bit more. And maybe I want to change the color as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of the, adjust color so that maybe I get some sort of hue change. Maybe I can go towards the green. Why not? So we'll get a definite look that's different here. So now I'm going to do a classic tween in between the two. And you'll definitely see we get some sort of change. Now, I can duplicate this keyframe by clicking on it, using the Alt key, duplicating it, and then take the original keyframe, and I can go all the way back to the original if I want, and duplicating that to the end, and then right-clicking and choosing the classic tween again. So here's the animation. I have the tween that changes to the green with the inner shadow, and then back to the kind of the orange. Now, I can also do an animation for my text. Now, in order to do that, though, I have to make sure that my text is also converted to a movie clip. So I'm going to go ahead and choose right-click, choose the text, right-click, and select the text and make this the text. Well, this will be the MC anim text. Now, I need to go ahead and give that text some sort of instance name. So this is going to be label underscore MC, and that stands for underscore movie clip. Now, if I want, I can repeat the same sort of animation here. So maybe I'm going to change the text, and it will have a color effect that maybe makes the brightness go darker. So it'll get dark when it has a rollover. I can duplicate those keyframes and then take the original, duplicate it there, and do my classic tween in between. So it kind of does go gray in between, but that's okay. Now, the last thing that we might want to do is change our timing so it's a little bit more exciting. So I'm going to select both tweens and make those go easing negative or 100, and then this easing 100. And it just makes some sort of timing change. And I'm ready to go ahead and come back to my main level, and you'll see that I have this animation. If I test my screen, you'll see that I have that animation, and it's definitely a little bit more going on there. And if we want to change our text, we do have to change our code, and here's how we're going to do that. You'll see that we'll use the exact same thing, but we have a little bit more nested of a target. So this, of course, right now doesn't have an instance name. So let's call that instance name of this button sample3 sample3_btn. So we have to have an instance name for it before we can use ActionScript on it. So now I'm going to target that button. That will be sample3_button. Then I have to go inside of the label_MC and then to the label_txt. So you'll see that we have one more nested level of structure because we have that internal movie clip as well. And then we're going to change the text at the end just by duplicating what we have there. So it'll say this sample3_button dot label_MC dot label_txt dot text equals button 3. So let's save that and test with Control Enter, and you'll see we have indeed changed it to button 3. So we have now created some pretty fancy animations here, and that's pretty much all you would ever really need to know about to create pretty amazing buttons. Now we're going to be creating some animation of a little bit of extra being added onto it, but we're not having to rebuild our animations anymore because we've basically got the basic structure that we need for all of our different animations. But we're just going to add some other things being added on. So let's go ahead to our next tutorial, and we're going to be duplicating our buttons and just adding a little bit more to them, and that's about it.